Keep up to date everywhere. News Talk 820 WBAP.
In the WBAP newsroom.
Dr. Chad Stevens joins us again. We always turn to him, Hal, when it comes to the issue of concussions.
Yes.
He is an expert and could give us some insight into this huge study that the UIL, along with the O'Donnell Brain Institute at UT Southwestern Medical Center, are combining for the largest of its kind. What are we looking for? What are we trying to gather? What do they hope to find, Doc?
Well, as near as I can tell, thank you for having me on your show, by the way, but as near as I can tell, what they are really trying to do is they're starting to recognize that the game of football is being thwarted by injury and being thwarted by people being afraid to sign their kids up and things of that nature. And then that combined with the class action lawsuits against the NFL and Pop Warner football has probably prompted them to start looking at ways they can assess whether the game is safe or what ways can they alter the rules or make changes to the equipment or do things of that nature to try to alter the amount of injury that they're seeing. And so I think that's what they're trying to assess really with what they're doing.
800,000 public high school athletes in the state of Texas. You've told us before that your kids that you played, and you thought of, or maybe you did at an early time, give them some additional padding in their helmet. I mean, are they going to study things like that, some additional equipment that folks can wear, some new advanced stuff? Are they going to be talking about that?
You know, I hope so. To be honest with you, a couple of years ago, 2014, we did that study I've told you about, and with the almost 1,400 athletes through 14 different high schools, we showed that there was a significant reduction in the amount of head injuries and actual diagnosed concussions. And so I don't know what that product's role in this study is going to be. I would hope that's considered, and really other products are considered as they look at what is the most efficacious way to safely put our athletes into sport. So I hope they do, but I do not have any knowledge that is already being studied with regard to this current launch they're doing.
And it's not just football. We're going to talk about that next with Dr. Chad Stevens, who is an expert on concussions at the Noble Pain and Sports Medicine Center. He joins us right now. We're back with him after we check traffic on the ClassicChevrolet.com right now. Traffic Watch in Lauren, Houston.
The westbound 635 at Hillcrest still there in the right lane. The one in the backup westbound 635 at Skillman, that's on the shoulder. Huge delays on westbound I-20. 45-minute delay, maybe longer as you move from I-35E. You're heading out towards, it's heavy all the way out towards the Arlington area because of some dense fog. The backup on the tollway is south on the tollway. You've got a wreck at Trinity Mills. Then the northbound side of the tollway near Keller Springs, you still have the right lane blocked off. Covering Tarrant and Denton counties, here's Monty Cook.
I-20 eastbound at East Loop 820, that one taken away to center lane, still solid. Back to I-35W and I-35W northbound at 121. You've got a wreck in the right lane. WBAP right now, Traffic Watch. I'm Monty Cook.
Brad Barton of the WBAP Weather Center. Still plan on flight delays, although they are landing again at DFW Airport. Don't see a lot of activity around Dallas Love yet. Dense fog in the area, in and out of it throughout the morning, probably through at least 9 or 10 o'clock this morning until a little cold front comes through, and that will help. High today 58, low tonight 40. We could go through this tomorrow morning as well with the front stalls out. That's a possibility. And we have some up and down weather, I'll tell you. We'll be 54 tomorrow, 52 Thursday, then 60s to near 70 Friday and Saturday before another big cold front Saturday night. Right now at WBAP fog and 48 degrees.
Dr. Chad Stevens with us right now. This is a huge concussion study going on between the UIL and UT Southwestern Medical Center. The largest of its kind, going to be tracking public high school athletes here in the state of Texas. And we're not just talking football, Doc. As a matter of fact, number 2 on the list seems to always be like women's basketball that comes in under that, right?
Yes, I think when you think about women's sports, basketball and soccer and cheerleading would be the top 3 culprits. So it is, we have a lot of our young ladies playing competitive sports and at a really high level. And so, yes, we see a fair amount of concussions among them. And it's not always as obvious maybe because there's not always a massive head collision or anything like that. It may just be somebody who falls down going for a layup and has kind of an awkward hyperextension of their neck and maybe hits the floor a little bit. It's a different mechanism sometimes, but nonetheless the results can be devastating the same way.
Yeah, with all things being equal, how about comparing today's high school athlete? Well, let's go to the 60s. Were there more concussions today as compared to the 60s, or just in the 60s football players just didn't report them?
I think they didn't report them. I know that as long as there's been contact sports, there's been concussions, and so. But I do think that the familiarity with the understanding of what can go wrong if you let things go too long now, or have repeated concussions that can have long-term consequences of your life. I think those are the things that are starting to bring out, in addition to state rules and regulations, those are the things that are starting to bring out more confessions from players, who would really like to stay in the game and play, but they also don't want to affect their long-term potential.
Is it going to come down to parents signing a waiver? Because take football, take women's basketball, take balance beams. You can fall off of those and get a concussion. Is it going to come down to signing a waiver saying you play at your own risk?
I think so. It is. I mean, every sport we compete on. You think about snowboarding, you think about skiing, and things
anything.
Like that. I mean, there's
anything.
Yeah, there's so many ways you can hit your head, and in the society we live in, where there is litigious component, I think it probably will go that direction. But right now, I'm happy to say that I think most schools are content in knowing that their schools are giving them the best athletic training staff they can, the best doctor staff and coaching staff they can, and they're putting their trust in them. But as we know, sometimes people trust isn't enough, and they need something in writing to be able to seal the deal. And so that probably is coming at some point in the future.
Dr. Chad Stevens, always appreciate the time from the Noble Pain and Sports Medicine Center. We're going to keep our eye on this study. It's going to be fascinating to see what the results are. Back then, when you were playing, you didn't get a concussion. You just got your bell rung.
You just got that is so well said.
Yeah,
that is so well said.
I'm back out there now.
7:50. Golly, that sounds familiar. 7:56. Marley has 8 o'clock news next.